Okay, what's up, everybody? Christopher Leon Johnson here. So I'm outside 55 Hanson Place, across the street from 55 Hanson Place, right by Atlantic Terminal Mall. And right now, what's going on here is the New York City building trades, which comprises of all the labor unions in New York City, just as the carpenters, the painter, DC9, and steam fitters, like every type of trade you can think of in construction. All the unions are out here. They're out here right now. They're trying to advocate and trying to push the city council into supporting a development right outside around Brooklyn Botanical Garden. And what's happening, the reason they're doing this rally, because to keep it real, it's going to go home. It's going to be approved by the city council tomorrow. Tomorrow is the day for the decision if the development will be approved or not, but most likely the development will be approved. So the development that's happening is going to be around Brooklyn Botanical Garden, which is in Prospect, which is in Prospect Leopard Gardens, and like Park Slope area. And what happened, the reason they're doing this rally, I don't kind of repeat myself, is because the Brooklyn Borough President, Antonio Reynoso, he went against the project. The reason he went against the project was because they was planning on doing a certain development, and the AMI level wasn't. It was a lot of things that if you're a borough president and you receive the application to your desk, you would deny it. You would decline it because it's not suitable. It wasn't suitable at all for it to be approved. And let's keep this real about as the borough president. I know a lot of people like to knock down that position as the borough president because look. The borough president, they get paid like $160,000. They get paid a little more than the city council members and a little lesser than the public advocate and the New York City controller. But what happens with the borough president's office, guys, is that the borough president has a lot of power. It's how they utilize it and their personality. The person that is known for utilizing his power and personality right now is Donovan Richards. Donovan Richards, I don't like the guy. Donovan Richards is a piece of shit. He's a big piece of shit. But the one thing about him is that he carries himself like he's the mayor of Queens. He carries himself like he's the mayor of Queens. You know, his demeanor is like he's the mayor of Queens, which he's not the mayor of Queens, but he acts like it. His approach is like that. Gibson is take things more personal. But Reynoso is really low key. But as the borough president, you have a lot of powers. As borough president, you could decide who gets on community boards. You could decide who gets on community boards. You could decide of how money gets allocated with the budget that you get from the budget, that you get from the city budget. As the borough president, you get to decide is a development is suitable for your borough. So there's a lot of power with borough president. But everybody know the biggest power it is that you have a bully pulpit. You have a big bully pulpit, and you get to run for mayor. You want to run for higher office. It's a lot of power with borough president spot. A lot of power with VP spot. So yeah, at the end of the day, the borough president, he's against this project because the reason he's against this project, guys, is because the people that was against the project itself was the garden, the Brooklyn Botanical Garden. And what happens, guys, is majority of the times, who's on the board of these nonprofits, and the Brooklyn Botanical Garden is a nonprofit, that's the reason that it gets a lot of heat, because it depends on the board of these nonprofits. That's why the elected officials get scared. The elected officials get real scared of these developers. They get scared of the nonprofits because it depends on the board of them. Hey, what's up, brother? It's loud. loud. I'm gonna try to get out of the sound. So let's keep it 100% with this, right? In the city council, there's a thing that's called member deference, right? But so in the city council, there's a terminology, but this has been over years, for decades, before I was born, or many of us got to politics. They got to politics, right? But there's a thing in land use and the city council that is called member deference, right? So member deference means that if in a certain area, like in a certain district, a development idea or a land use proposal application is not recommended by the council member that serves in that area, it will not go through. Member deference is like mutual respect. It's like deny it because of respect of the member that serves in the district. So it's like, I live in District 41. My district comprises of Brownsville, Bedford-Stuyvesant, like Bainbridge, and mainly Crown Heights, Bedford-Stuyvesant, and Brownsville. Now, my district, I have Bainbridge Street by Ralph Avenue. Now, let's say a developer want to like tear down around Ralph Avenue, C-Train, that's my district, and decide to build a development right in front of the project, right across the street from the projects. Now, as a council member, I could say, no, I don't want that shit up there. I don't want that shit because bullshit is not suitable for the district and it's not going through. So with member deference, that will die. That land application will die. But the problem is, we have a piece of shit, we have a bald-headed piece of shit in the city council named Kevin Riley. And Kevin Riley is a piece of shit, and I'll explain why. Because Kevin Riley is in the pocket of developers. Kevin Riley is a developer cuck. He's a developer cuck. And a developer cuck is anybody that elected a person that do anything for the developers. Kevin Riley is a piece of shit, and he knows he's a piece of shit because even at the member deference, and Crystal is for the project now. Crystal's for the project. But let's say hypothetically, Crystal was against this project that they trying to advocate right now. Kevin Riley, bitch ass, would have said fuck Crystal and got it through anyway. Because Kevin Riley is so hell-bent on trying to get a high position in politics like state senator or state assembly member, or hell, that little piece of shit might run for fucking borough president in 2029. He will do anything for the developers because he knows those same people that fund these campaigns, that run the city. But we don't know what's going on here. Like I say, I'm not against anybody trying to get work here. No problem. It's what it is. So yeah, at the end of the day, guys, but like I said, with Kevin Riley, it's loud as fuck. It's loud. It's loud. It's loud. It's loud. But with Kevin Riley, guys, Kevin Riley is a developer cuck. He's a developer cuck. He's not a shill. He's a cuck to developers. And Kevin Riley is a definition of a corrupt elected official, a corrupt guy. Now, let's explain about Kevin Riley in a nutshell, right? Kevin Riley, right? Kevin Riley is a council member for the 12th district of the city council. So his district covers Edenwald, and mainly Edenwald, that's his area, like the projects, that's his district. So the way Kevin Riley got into city council, was a disgusting way he got into city council. So what happened was, Andy King, who was a councilman for 12th district, pissed off a lot of people. He pissed a lot of developers off. Andy King pissed off a lot of developers. So what happened was, since the speaker of the city council that time was Corey Johnson, who's now a lobbyist, for these unions and stuff. He was so hell bent on trying to be the next New York City controller over Brad Lander. He would run for controller, and he wanted those donations from developers. But he would run for mayor. But now he run for controller. But it's all we lost, right? We got Lander in right now, city council. I mean, the controller. Corey Johnson brought up Andy King on charges that ultimately got the man expelled. And the only reason Andy King got kicked out of city council was because he wouldn't get developers. He wanted to put certain developments in his district, and it pissed the developers off. So they had to get Andy King out the door. So they got rid of Andy King. And everybody knows the rule with the city council is once a member gets expelled, or they pass away, or they resign, there has to be a special election within 45 days of the mayor announced it. The mayor had 3 days to announce it, and then 45 days that the special election to go on. So when it happened, the mayor announced a special election, and look who ran, was Kevin Riley. Kevin Riley used to work for Corey Johnson while he was speaker. He's working in the speaker's office. And all the developers, including Rebney and all these nonprofits, was propping up Kevin Riley like he's the next big thing in New York City. He got voted in, and look how the city is right now. Kevin Riley is the definition of a piece of shit. Kevin Riley will do anything but the developers. And everybody knows he's a piece of shit. Kevin Riley is a definition of all skin folk and kinfolk. That's why today, when I was at the hearing today, I call him a bald-headed clown. Because he'll do anything for developers. He don't give a shit about member of Deference. Even if Chris was against his project, he would still say fuck Crystal Hudson, and it's going through anyway. You know what I mean? council members here.
Yeah, I'm out in Brooklyn. Now I'm down in Tribeca, right next to the Narrow. But I'll be hood forever. I'm living Sinatra. And since I made it here, I can make it anywhere. Yeah, they love me everywhere. I used to cop in Harlem. All of my Dominicanos right there up on Broadway. Pulled me back to that McDonald's. Took it to my stash spot, 560 State Street. Catch me in the kitchen like the Simmons whipping pastry. Cruising down A Street, off-white Lexus. Driving so slow, but BK is from Texas. I'm out there Bed-Stuy, home of that boy Biggie. Now I live on Billboard, and I brought my boys with me. Say what up to Tata, still sipping my top. Sitting courtside, Knicks and Nets give me high five. Nigga, I be spiked out, I can trip a referee. Tell by my attitude that I most definitely from. walking with my clicks though. Welcome to the melon pot. Corners where we selling rock. Africa been by the shit. Home of the hip hop. Yellow cap, gypsy cap, holla back. We're farming those city fit, they act like they forgot how to act. 8 million stories out there in the naked. City is a pity, half of y'all won't make it.
So the councilors here. Yeah, the funny thing, the borough president is against this project. I mean, that means the borough president is against it. So, but because it's about the nonprofits, the Botanical Garden. The people that sit in the nonprofits are proper people. Let's make that clear. So of course you're gonna be against it. If I were borough president, I'll be against it too. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to deny them jobs, but like you gotta understand when in politics, it's about your job first, not anybody else. Because at the end of the day, the borough president spot is hard to get. So I understand where Reynoso's coming from. You know what I'm saying? I'm not mad at it. I would never be mad at the guy. Nobody should never get mad at him. Like, you know what I'm saying? Sorry. So, but she's for it. Now, she's for the project. But let's say, like I said before in the video, hypothetically, early on in the video, what happened if she was against the project? Right? If she was against the project, it'd be a different story. Construction, justice, NYC. So the guy on the stage, his name is Gary Barbera. He's the head guy of the building trade. So you oversee all these motherfuckers. You oversee all these people here. But I said the borough president gets this project because of the Botanical Garden. That's the only reason why he's against it. They try to get a project approved in Botanical Garden, so it's for the city council. So tomorrow's a vote. They try to get these members. Yeah, no problem. So all the labor unions are here. Like these guys, the reason they it's about the work, right? About the jobs. But if the borough president against it, you never know how it's going to go tomorrow morning, tomorrow afternoon at the city stadium. You never know how to go state it because of the borough president. Like the only person right, but against it is Sandy Nurse. Sandy Nurse is Jennifer Gutierrez, but Shahana, she has to run against Kornberg next year, so I don't think she's gonna be against anything the borough president gonna be for. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's Kornberg. She's running. Hanif running against, and all right. So Reynoso, his two biggest allies in the city council is Gutierrez and Nurse. That's it. Like I said, Reynoso. I'm gonna say right now, Reynoso was banging Nurse, and he was banging his chief of staff. That time, Gutierrez, he was fucking both of them. So we don't know what that's about. In return, he was giving all the shit that he wanted to get. So let's go start this rally.
Good afternoon, brothers and sisters. First of all, I want to thank you all for coming out today for this rally. But I want to tell you a little bit about why we're here, how we got here, and a little bit about what's going on across this city. And it's not just in Brooklyn, it's in Queens, it's in Manhattan, it's in Staten Island, it's in the Bronx. Unfortunately, there is an anti-development movement that is happening in this city. And in particular, these reasons are being pushed by certain groups, special interest groups. And I have to mention this because this rally today is only the second rally that we had 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, we were in the west side of Manhattan addressing the Friends of the High Line because they want to stop a $12 billion project over shadows and wind and views. Well, let me tell you, as far as I'm concerned, and as far as the leadership of the building trades, your family's future and your future are more important than shade, shadows, and views. This is about you. The other thing is that you have to understand is this is about the future. And you're going to hear today from apprentices that are part of this community that have a future. But without development of union projects, there is no future. So we're going to fight every day and be wherever we have to be in the 5 boroughs to make our point. Now today is a very interesting day that you're all part of. The project that we're talking about today is a project that is known as 970 Franklin Avenue. And this is a workforce housing project, a residential project. And this project and planning of this project started 7 years ago. And for 7 years, we have been standing side by side with the developer, Bruce Eichner and William Wallace, who want to create a model in this city. And that model is, we refer to as BFO, Built, Financed, and Operated Union. That's what we got. Now they're here today and you're going to hear from them directly, but I got to thank them for standing with us for 7 years. Now, in order for projects to move forward and land use issues, these issues have to go through a process, and it involves the city council. And unless we have council members that are going to figure out a way to get to yes, well, then we can't get these projects built. And if we can't get these projects built, you don't have a future, and families don't have a future. And I am pleased today, and that's why I still wanted to go forward with this rally today, because this is a good day for everyone involved, for the community, for the developer, and for all of you and your futures. It took a long time and a lot of conversation, but the local council member, Crystal Hudson, was able to get to yes. And today I'm very pleased to report at the first zoning voting, the 6 members of that committee, it was 6 in favor of this project. Next is another hearing tomorrow, and then the week after is the final hearing. And the local council member has made sure that everyone knows that after a lot of discussion, a lot of negotiations, that she's going to want this project. This is a yes. It means this project moves forward. And this is the point. We need elected officials that are going to stand with us, stand with those very basic principles. Build housing, desperately needed housing. Build it union and create the opportunities for true pathways to the middle class that only a building trades can create. So I want to not waste any time. I want to introduce to you now Crystal Hudson, again, the local council member that's here today to talk to you about how we got to yes and her support for us. And then you're going to hear from the developer. So today is a very unique day, because you're going to hear from the council member that got to yes, and then you're going to hear from the developer that stood with us for 7 years. And then you're going to hear from leadership, and you're going to hear from apprentices about how important it is that we come out and engage. Now let me tell you, this is just not about 970 Franklin or the Friends of the High Line. This is a bigger issue. And I'm telling you, brothers and sisters, it is so important that you realize that you and your voices have power. You have power in your communities. You have to use that power and be that power. And in order to do that, you have to be engaged. That's the key. You have a stake in your future. You have a voice in your future. And we're going to be out here and everywhere we have to be to raise your voice and use your power, brothers and sisters. So now let me introduce to you from the 35th District in the City Council of New York, Council Member Crystal Hudson. Give her a warm welcome.
Is New York City a union town? Yeah! Is New York City a union town? Yeah! Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Crystal Hudson. I'm so proud to be here with you today, especially because this project, as you've heard, that is union built, union financed, and union operated, is the very first of its kind in New York City. That's a huge accomplishment. And if it's first, that means it's not going to be the last project like this. We need to make sure that we continue to build projects and support projects and approve projects that are union built, union financed, union operated. This is the best case scenario that we could have achieved for this particular project. We protect important institutions like our Brooklyn Botanic Garden while also creating workforce housing for who? You. New York City is a union town. We need to make sure that everybody across this city hears that and understands what that means so that when projects comes to other districts, I will be standing with you all wherever it may be across the city to make sure that we let them know what is possible. You cannot take no for an answer, and as Gary said, your power is huge. It's bigger than you think. It's bigger than you understand. You have to continue to just come out and let people know what you want to see and how important it is that we continue to build projects like this. I just want to thank Gary. I want to thank all of the unions that have worked tirelessly to advocate for this project, the carpenters, the laborers, DC 37, who has union members at the Botanic Garden. There's union on every side of this project, and every union is going to benefit from this project. Thank you so much for your partnership. I look forward to seeing you all at the site. Thank you.
And again, one of the most important things Crystal just said is that she's going to advocate for us within the city council. Again, and she also said to you all, in front of me, behind me, across from us, you have power. You have more power than you realize. We have to use the power. We have to turn out and we have to let elected officials know what our priorities are and how important it is to create union-built projects, union-financed projects, union-operated projects. This could be the future and will be the future of how construction is built in a residential marketplace in the city of New York. We have a lot going on a lot of projects, and I'm telling you, brothers and sisters, we're gonna get the residential market back, one job at a time. Now, as I mentioned before, I've had the great honor and privilege to serve as the president of the Building Trades Council in New York City, as well as the New York State Building Trades Council for many, many years. And I have to tell you that the next person that I introduce to you, Bruce Eichner from Continuum, is the developer. And I want to say, and you wouldn't think, given the normal relationships, that we would have such an ally about a project. He insisted that the only way that he was going to build this project was a 100% union project. So we got to give Bruce a huge round of applause. And you know, when you have a developer that stands with you and is in the fight with you for 7 years, you know, it gives us the ability to say to other developers, what do you mean you can't do it? Bruce Eichner did it. He stood with us because he cares about creating middle-class careers in the construction industry. Brothers and sisters, really give it up for Bruce Eichner for being such a loyal friend to the New York City building trades. Bruce.
I wish I could speak as loudly as Gary LaBarber, but I'm going to give it my sunny side Queens, where I grew up, best. 2 thoughts. I called Gary 8 years ago and I said, I have an idea. He said, what? I said, BFO. He said, what's that? And out came union built, union financed, union operated